I'm Jon Teller. I'm a trial attorney at the Wilshire Law Firm. This case involved a vehicle collision. Our client ultimately suffered a cervical injury to his neck, resulting in a one-level fusion and a tear to his shoulder, resulting in an arthroscopy surgery to his shoulder. There were many obstacles involved in this case. One major one being that our client was not wearing his seatbelt at the time of the collision, and the insurance company was attempting to argue that if he were wearing a seatbelt, he would not have been injured. It was going to be difficult to just talk and explain it verbally how the lack of seatbelt really was irrelevant to this case. We asked DK Global to create an animation for us depicting the vehicle collision with a seatbelt and without a seatbelt to show the judge how the mechanics of the injury and what happened to our client in the backseat of that Lyft would be almost identical if our client was wearing the seatbelt or was not wearing a seatbelt. One of the challenges with this case and with many cases out there is the defense attorneys sometimes tell you what their theory is going to be, but don't actually disclose what their experts are truly going to say at the end of the day at deposition and or trial or arbitration. In this case, the defense wouldn't produce their biomechanic expert until a day or two before the arbitration. Once we finally heard the defense expert's position on the case, we then had to get in touch with DK Global and tell them what the defense was trying to allege. The insurance company also suggested through their biomechanic expert that the collision was so minor, it was just like bumper cars, and nobody suffers disc herniations as a result of bumper cars. Therefore, our client could not have suffered the cervical spine disc injury and resulting surgery as a result of this vehicle collision. DK Global was kind enough to help us all the way through up until the arbitration to create the animation and edit the animation based on these last minute things that the defense was attempting to argue through their expert. With the help of DK Global, we secured an award of $824,000. The verbal explanation only goes so far, but when you have an animation that is so clear and you can almost feel like you were there at the scene of the crash, witnessing what happened to our client, it makes all the difference.